we'll start with legacy modernization because that is one thing that we are seeing Australian businesses are struggling a lot with, especially in terms of not just the legacy infrastructure, but the mindset and business processes and systems. So do you find that as a challenge, or have you taken any initiatives within your organization?
Yeah, so we looked at a few ways of changing that. We started a program a few years ago called Bureaucracy Busters, which is just looking at inherent systems and processes that everyone hated.
Okay.
So if you didn't like the way something was done, it was often done that way because that's the way it was always done.
Right.
And you would find out from someone, why do we do that? And they say, well, that's what so-and-so told me, and that person's now gone. And so we were taking advice from people that either weren't in the company or in different roles or creating different decisions. And so we just looked at those processes that didn't work and scrapped them.
Okay.
And that changed dramatically how we operate as a business. We started to look at ourselves as that Fortune 50 business, but with the mind of a startup, and we just wanted to act the way a small business does in a big business world. And that has helped tremendously, not only with the way we do things, for the procedures and the plans that we have, but also in employee morale, because when you can listen to someone who that's their day job and they do that all the time and they don't like the way that's done, then we can switch it, and it really empowers the employee and also creates a better outcome for all of us. And that's gone from everything from the way we handle payroll inquiries with our PayBot, which is an AI focused on answering pay-related questions, all the way down to how we service our products to our end users using AI to interact on WhatsApp or WeChat, and just changing the way people communicate with us, aligning with the way they like to communicate, and that has made tremendous differences internally and to our customers.
So in that sense, as a company or as a business, do you have set any 2020 milestones for yourselves?
Yeah, we sort of work in waves, and so we set these milestones with our waves, and 2020 is a big one for us, not only because it's a great round number, but it's also because in our evolution, as we split our company into two not too long ago, it was the largest company disentanglement at the time in the tech space, and so we set these very audacious goals to achieve, to become smarter, to become leaner, to become more nimble, and even just recently we've adjusted our Asia Pacific business, so that traditionally encompassed everything from China down to New Zealand, and we realised within that region they have different complexities and different needs, and so by putting China as its own region, by having India as its own region, and by having the rest of Southeast Asia as a region, Australia inclusive, it's enabled us to better service our customers because we can align to what those countries require. And it was, when we think about it in retrospect, it was kind of silly that we had both China and India, when you compare them as such a lion's share of the world's population with very specific requirements and needs, to have those essentially separate regions has enabled the other regions to have a greater voice, to be more heard. It was hard for us in Australia with a relatively small population to compete when, say, India has a requirement, because we're a very small fish in that big pond.
Yeah.
And so by enabling us to silo in that way, we've become a much quicker company to react, but also to plan and plan more appropriately for the future.
Okay, so how is it structured right now? So there are regions and then they tie into a business?
Correct, yeah. So that has just created huge changes for us. And that was a big 2020 goal for us. We actually reached that by 2019. We also have a lot of sustainability goals as well. So for us, sustainability is the core of what we do. We almost use 50% of our entire power as a company from renewables already. We recycle millions of water bottles a day. We even sent teams to Haiti after the cyclones to not only help rebuild, but also to collect waste plastic to then recycle into products. And that goes right down to the core of what we do when we say sell an ink cartridge, that it has to be completely recyclable and built to be recyclable and to be built from recycled materials. And so we're even seeing that in products now. Some of our devices are built from 10-15% recycled plastics. So your next laptop you might buy, or your next printer you might buy, might contain plastic that was once bound for our oceans. And so part of our goals were not only to be more nimble, but also to be more sustainable.
All right. And what about being a data-driven business? Are you working towards that? Is that one of your...
Certainly so. And we're actually seeing great cost savings there. We're using big data in a lot of different areas, and it's hard to distill all that down into a soundbite. But for us, for instance, in 3D printing, we actually can now do virtual 3D printing. So it's building a 3D printer in a virtual world so we can print virtual items in 3D. So we don't actually have to use the waste product of having printing a prototype. So that's really changing how we work as a business and how we develop and design. And it also means not only reduce cost, but far greater savings in reduced waste. And that's for us is super important.
Okay. And then what about in terms of customer experience or employee experience? Are you seeing a little more movement of using data to deliver that?
Yeah, certainly. So, we're one of those companies that will always have an open door policy to let everyone talk about anything, regardless of where you are. And famously, our office in Palo Alto, where Bill and Hewlett have, the area behind the door is not faded at all, and the area in front is faded just because it literally never closed. And so, we always make sure that both internally and to our customers, we're trying to adopt those new methodologies and make sure that we're behaving the way our customers want to, not the way we would like our customers to behave, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because our customers are everything, and if we're not talking the way they like to talk, if we're not communicating in the channels they would like to communicate in, then we're quickly lost, and you can quickly become those ancient companies that have now gone and dusted, and very quickly in this space. So I think that helped us be more nimble.